Hello, and welcome again to Lightworks. This video is Simple Transitions, part 8 of the Lightworks Quick Start tutorials. In this video, you'll see how to make simple real-time transitions in the timeline. By simple transitions, we mean effects that can be done on the video or audio tracks and don't require a separate effects track. As you can see, I've added a shot at the start of the previous scene. It's the same location in the cafe as where the scene is filmed, but there's an ellipsis or time cut between the two scenes. Let's add a dissolve to make the time cut clearer. I use the jump buttons to go to the cut point and click on the effects button on the timeline. The Add Effects panel appears. The category we'd like to look at is Mixes. Mixes contains blend, dissolve, luma wipe, mask blend, push, squeeze and wipe. I want to use a dissolve. On the drop down menu I choose centered here to center the dissolve around the cut point. Then I specify a duration. There's a drop down list of typical timings to choose from. These are in frames. I'm choosing 25 frames, which in the PAL world is 1 second. If you prefer to think in seconds and frames, you can change the display. I'm going to stick with frames. If you want a duration that's not in the list, you just key it in. Now click on Add. The effect appears in the timeline. There's a pale blue section. The panel for adding keyframes appears. I'm going to ignore it because I'm not actually going to be adding keyframes. I'm just going to undo the dissolve to look at the panel again. Instead of choosing centered here, I could have chosen from here, which would start the dissolve at the cut, to here, which would end the dissolve at the cut. Let's try from here. If you don't want to use any of the presets, you can mark your own in and out points. Okay, I'm just going to undo that, clear the marks. You can also add these transitions by right-clicking exactly on the cut point. Choose the transition to add, choose the duration and the positioning. I'm going to add a 25 frame centered dissolve. If I want the audio to crossfade at the same time as the dissolve, I deselect the video track. The effects panel switches to the audio effects. I choose crossfade, leave it the same length as before and choose add. Transitions can also be trimmed like clips, which is rather neat. Finally, I'd also like a fade in at the start of the edit. To do this, I simply dissolve from black and choose from here.
Because you'll snatch it.
And if I want an audio fade up to match the picture, deselect the video, choose crossfade from here. Okay, that's all for part 8. In the next video we'll take a closer look at the audio tracks, find out how to add extra tracks for music and sound effects, and see how to set audio levels.